Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at this 1983 Honda QR50. Very rare bike in Canada. They were only ever imported in 1983 and 1984. I don't think they were ever imported into the US. Seems to be a lot of parts come from Europe and Australia for these. It's kind of Honda's answer to the Yamaha PW 50. So it's a two-stroke. I think it was based off the NC50 moped is the basic engine design. I bought this about, I don't know, 11 months ago, and I started to restore it, and I'd gathered up a lot of parts for it, and then kind of got sidetracked. So I'm going to finish it. Previously I'd had Old Iron Custom Steve install a new seat cover. This seat cover is by Pit Replica on eBay. He's out of Thailand. Does really nice work. I polished the rear fender. That was a lot of work. I got hours and hours in that. It's not perfect, but it's as good as it's going to get. I did the tank. It come out really nice. Tank plastic is always easier to sand for some reason. I got a lot of parts on hand for this. The one thing I've not ordered yet is a piston because I wasn't sure if it needs to be bored or what. The only pistons oversized that seem to be available come out of Australia. There's a 0.5 millimeter and a 1 millimeter oversized available. So that's probably the first thing I'm going to do is take that cylinder off so I can get my buddy Mike at Mike's Bikes to kind of give me a recommendation on what piston to order. I'll probably sandblast and paint these wheels. Previous owner had put like CRF 50 tires on it, so I'm probably just going to reuse those. They're not worn out or anything. So maybe now we'll take a look at what parts I've got gathered up. So I've kind of been collecting parts from all over the world on this bike. Really amazed. I did find a new old stock Honda fender. That was a pricey piece, but the original fender's got a big crease in it. It's not worth trying to polish out. Choke cable. I got the throttle cable and brake cable. Managed to find a new old stock Honda carburetor. Apparently these carburetors are finicky. It uses two cables. I don't know a lot about this bike yet. I haven't had one apart. I did get some. This was a good find. The original side case had Honda painted on, and it, you know, your foot wears it off. So there's a guy in England making replica stickers. This is a rear fender sticker. These guys go on the side panel. New tank decal stickers. The gasket kit, believe it or not, came out of Poland. I don't know. It's really, if it wasn't for eBay, I would have been screwed on this bike. It's just, it's pretty rare. Air filter, new brake levers from Honda. It's surprising you can get some stuff from Honda. I don't know why. Kickstand spring. This is off. The bike did come with a parts bike. The parts bike is really rough. The only decent part on it was this front number plate, so I kind of shined it up and put a new decal on it. It's not really worth trying to restore. The fenders are bad. Everything, it's just, and somebody's welded the Kickstarter on, so I'd have to spend a bunch of money just to make it run. Brand new Honda grips. There's a guy in France, I believe it was France, I got this off eBay. All these old bikes, kill switch breaks off here, and this guy is 3D printing a new kill switch button, so I'm going to fix that. Just odds and ends. New seals for the forks. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting into this bike. I don't know a lot about it yet. Here's a new for the Kickstarter, rubber for the Kickstarter. I don't know a lot about it yet, but I do have a manual downloaded for it, so I guess we'll get on it and get that cylinder off and see what piston I should get on the way. Okay, the first thing I noticed I'm going to need to order is this piece for the saddle on the tank. You can see it's pooched. I did see one, somebody 3D printing one on eBay. I'll have to get that on order because I don't think I can save that. Pretty sure it's not available from Honda anymore. One kind of unique feature about this bike, though, two-stroke oil is actually in the frame. This is the where you put it in, but it goes down and then there's a hose comes off and there's an oil pump on the engine. I don't know if you can see here. The carburetor is also kind of reversed to like a normal dirt bike, where the air is coming in the front and this pipe is going down into the case. It's kind of really unique. The suspension itself is part of the engine case. Like, this is your swing arm, so there will be a bunch of gears and the chain in there. Kind of a neat design. So this is the previous owner's answer to the broken kill switch button. It's just like a Princess Auto switch. I mean, it worked, but I'm going to fix it properly. I don't think there's any hope for this one. It's cracked in two places. I don't know. You can't get them. Nobody's making replica stuff for them, so I don't know. I'll have to go back on a parts bike. I may sell the parts bike when I'm done. Again, that would be so hard to polish out with that crease. Thank God I found a new one. Hopefully you can see this here. When you move the throttle, that's the oil pump. So it's like a snowmobile type setup where it injects the oil. Oil seems to come out of the frame here, straight into this pump, and then also over to the carb. For some reason these things are rock hard. I'm gonna have to cut them to get them off. I've got the throttle housing apart. This is the switch I have to fix, the 3D printed one I have. Doesn't look too bad to get apart. What's kind of interesting is this screw. This is a throttle stop, so you could run that in. Like if you're teaching a little kid how to ride or whatever, you could run it in so he can't rev the bike up and hurt himself. Next up, I'm going to take the cable off of the oil pump. That's part of the split cable here, and then I should be able to pull the carb off. Okay, I got all the oil drained out of the frame. That was kind of a mess. There's not much left between me and getting the engine out. I don't know exactly how this is going to go. I've got one bolt in the shock to take out and one on the engine mount. So we'll see how this goes. So before I take this apart anymore, I'm going to take the air gun and blow all the grime and stuff off of here. I've got the intake plug so nothing can go down in the engine, and then once I've got it blown off, I'll take that head and cylinder off and see what the piston looks like. I'm going to take this kickstand assembly off so I can restore it separately. Okay, now I can go ahead and take the head off and the cylinder and see what's what. Crank feels good, but you can see there's evidence of blow by. Let's have a look at the cylinder here. Pretty shiny. Crosshatch is gone, but there's no major damage. I'll take this to my buddy Mike and see what he thinks, but probably 1/2 millimeter over piston would be about right. I don't even know if he has a machine small enough to do it, so chat with him before I order a piston. That's going to be it for this episode. I'm not going to get too deep in this engine because I've ridden this bike. I know its clutch is good and everything. I'll probably take this cover off and inspect everything and paint it, as well as the stator cover. Crank feels nice and tight. I don't see any evidence of anything wrong. New piston ring, spore it out. Gasket kit, I'll paint the head and the cylinder. The frame itself I'll get to another day. There's no rush on it because the piston itself is in Australia, so that's going to be probably at least 3 weeks to get here. By that time I'll have the whole rest of it painted. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.